G'day legends, I hope that you're having a fantastic day, and I'm back on the ground, and this is what I like doing. And I'm in Israel, specifically northern Israel. And as you can see from some of the spot fires behind, there's been a lot of fires coming from southern Lebanon, from Hezbollah there, into northern Israel. Now, why am I on this side and not the other? Now, I can already see the comments coming and blah, 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 whatever. But I actually did try and go onto the Lebanon side through Beirut. Now, I did reach out through some contacts of some friends to go there, and explaining my situation, I was advised not to, mainly because I'd been to Israel before, I'd been in the military, and I can't hide either of those due to me being very public about both of these things. That in and around Beirut, I'd be fine, but I would be wanting to go into the south, into Hezbollah controlled areas, and it would be undue risk. And from people on the ground says, look, don't do it. They will think that you're some sort of spy, something happening, and we have no control there. So I am in then northern Israel. So what's going on in the north, and why am I then back? Well, last time we spent the majority of our time in the south, where we had the fight against then Hamas after the October 7th then attack into Israel. And of course, that has been highly, highly political since the beginning, and since what has happened there and the amount of then military action. But you have to remember, in the north, there is another group. There is Hezbollah. Now, people compare the two, Hamas to Hezbollah. You really can't. That the way I've had it explained, I think the best way to put it is that Hezbollah is a proxy arm of Iran, and Hamas is more of a contractor. But Hezbollah are to multiple times more powerful, not only in training and equipment, but then in their supply and then their allies around in this area of the world as well. The biggest danger somewhere like this is anti-tank guided munitions. You can get 3, 4, 5 kilometers on them, and we've seen that Hezbollah are firing them in tandem to defeat certain types of systems on tanks and armored warfare. So we do know that they are advanced there too. We can see that from some of the gear they use and some of the training as well. Now, the danger somewhere like this is due to it being so hilly. Of course, that range is just point to point. So we have seen a lot of attacks happen up here. And of course, there's artillery going back. There's F-16s dropping munitions, as well as, of course, a lot of munitions coming back this way as well. But it has been spoken about that Israel could do a land operation into then southern Lebanon, more extended than previously as a full level. Now, why would that need to, or why would Israel be looking to have that take place? Well, there's many, many cities and towns that sit right on this border. And of course, those cannot be protected while there is then a fight going back and forward. Regardless how you feel about it, that is how Israel then see it, that they need to go through and take out then the enemy that they see then fighting in, and putting these areas, these civilian areas, then in danger. But like I spoke about, Hezbollah are significantly more powerful. And how would a ground operation happen? Where we see Gaza, you've got this basically four walls, and you're fighting within, and we've seen that that has not been as quick or as successful as maybe first thought, although no wars are. Look back to any war from the beginning to the end. Well, if they knew the end at the beginning, the majority of countries would never enter into that then conflict. And maybe this will be the same, and I think Gaza may be the same. But I've flown over here because the IDF, they have put up and spoken about specifically ground operations into then Lebanon. That said, I don't know if I'll be able to get any access. My accreditation was then denied again, and areas up here are very, very locked down. But I'll be doing what I can and bringing you guys what I can from here. Now, something that is worth mentioning on this front is if there is some ground push invasion into here, the big question is then what will Iran, what will Syria then do? What involvement? Of course, 2 months ago, we saw then the mass attacks from Iran into Israel. Will we see something more like that? And that has a lot higher chances with Hezbollah than it does with Hamas. So we will wait and see. But this definitely has the danger of breaking into a wider war in the Middle East, far more than the operation in Gaza. This could expand rapidly and very quickly. And of course, we can see a lot of other nations dragged into this. I've spoken before about the problems this may then arise for Ukraine. If there are ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, then fired into Israel, air defence capability around the world is limited at the best of times. Ukraine is using a lot, Israel is using a lot, and if Israel start using a lot more, it's going to create problems everywhere. Anyway, legends, this is sort of my opening video. I've probably missed half the points that I wanted to speak about, but I'm trying to find an area where I can do a live, but the north is very hard and it's getting late. Look after yourselves, and I'll bring you what I can. Thank you. Bye-bye.